Hey guys, Dan the Tourist Man with CBReptile.com, and today I'm going to give you the lowdown on our friends from down under, the bearded dragon. Here I have a hypo leatherback citrus bearded dragon. Now that's a lot, but I'm going to break that down for you. He gets its leatherback name for the scales on his back, or the lack of scales. These have a smaller amount of the scales and smoother scales than the original or the traditional bearded dragons. It makes them easier to touch, and it gives them a softer pattern across their back. This one in particular has a stripe pattern. We're going to get into that a little bit later. I'll give you a close up on him, and you can really see the beautiful pattern that he has. He's got two little stripes going down the back of his back. However, they are interrupted with its normal pattern, so we're not going to classify it as a striped. However, it does get its citrus name from its bright yellow coloring with the offset of the orange and even a little bit of red in there. So this guy is going to be moving up from his 10-gallon that I'm going to put him back into right now. And he's going to be moving up to a 40-gallon breeder. 4 times the size, but he's going to get about 4 times the size he's right now. This guy, including their tails, they're going to get about 15 to 22 inches in length in adulthood. So you're going to want to have a 40-gallon breeder. Some people start them on the 40-gallon breeder, some people move them up. Usually the progression would go from the time they're born. This guy's about 8 weeks old, about 10 weeks in the 10-gallon. Then we move them up to a 20-gallon until they're about 6 months old, and then after that you're definitely going to need yourself a 40-gallon tank. So we're just going to jump right to that one. So we have a few things we have to add to this terrarium that's not necessarily in this one. This is a very minimalistic one for him right now. Just to give you guys an idea of how big the tank starts and how big we're going to end up with. So we have everything we're going to need to keep him happy and healthy in his new home. Now we're on the bottom, we're going to keep a substrate. We're not going to use a substrate. Right now we have a mat in this one. We're going to use paper towels for the other one. Makes cleanup even easier. It makes it very simple. The real reason that they can't use substrate is because they like to eat it. They can and will eat it. And then eventually they might get a little compacted and it can cause some serious health issues. So we highly recommend you don't use a substrate, and the easiest cleanup when you're not using a substrate would definitely be paper towels. So I'm going to show you how to line it with paper towels. We got a couple of lighting fixtures over here. We have a heating fixture. We also have some decorations, a piece of driftwood, just give him the height and the ability to climb that he really needs. Something in there to keep him a little occupied. We also have a food and water dish and some reptile. And I'm going to go into a little bit while I'm building the terrarium about their diet and the things that they need to keep them happy and healthy. So I'm going to put this tank aside. I'm going to jump cut. We're going to get this bad boy on top, and then we're going to start building it. Can't wait. I'll see you guys in just a little bit, okay? Alright guys, we're back. We have our 40-gallon breeder front and center, and that's what we're going to be putting all of our new things in. Over here we have our 10-gallon breeder holding our bearded dragon currently, and as soon as we're done getting this set up, we're going to move him right from the 10-gallon to the 40-gallon, so let's get this done quick and easy. The first step you're going to want to do is you want to take your paper towels. This time the bedding is going to be paper towels. As I mentioned before, other substrates can be dangerous to their health. Also, as I mentioned before, they also hail from Australia. Australia, as you know, is a hot place, not too much moisture in the air, so normal substrates usually hold the moisture in. They increase humidity in the terrariums and simulates their habitat better. However, you're not going to necessarily need that for our bearded dragons, and paper towel makes cleanup the simplest. So if you're looking for simplicity, if you're looking for efficiency, paper towel is exactly what we recommend. So I'm going to put it out really great so far. The second step is you're going to take your driftwood. It's the next biggest thing, and it's definitely going to be a focal point of your terrarium. So you're going to take your driftwood, and you want to put a climbing part, a part where you can see them resting or climbing. You want to put that as high as possible, just so they can choose the height that they want to be. Climbing is super great for them. It gives them the opportunity to get closer to a heat lamp, which you would want to position towards the top of your driftwood. So you want to put this down, I'd say right about here. So he's going to be able to climb up on this driftwood across here, over here, and then really grab on to be able to be high up right about here. So when we do put the lid back on, we're going to want to put our heating lamp right about here, and I'll show you that in a little bit later. The next thing you want to do is you want to take your aesthetic leaves. This foliage is going to add some color to your terrarium and give them a place to hide and something to climb on as well. They usually like this, plus it gives the tank a little bit of a homey feel. So I'm going to put that off in the corner. Next things you need are some food and water bowls. As always, we have our Reptile ramp and our Reptile rock, one for food, one for water. So I'm going to put this over here in the corner because they always fit so well in the corner, these Reptile ramps. And the Reptile rock, I'm going to use for water. I'm just going to put that anywhere I see fit. How about right here? So this is going to be the basics that you're going to need for the flooring. This is everything you're going to need for these guys. They're very low maintenance and they're very fun creatures that aren't very hostile. They're not very active. They just like to live and they like to bask in their heating spots. So I'm going to get the lid back on this bad boy, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to set up the top of our terrarium to make the lighting and the heating just absolutely perfect to ensure a healthy growing area. Alright, now the flooring is done, this is going to be the time where we get into the lighting. We have half the lid on, half the lid off. That's the beauty of these 40-gallon breeders. Next we're going to be adding a hood. Now hoods are super important. These guys are going to be optimal for providing a spectrum of light. Usually when you get a smaller terrarium, sort of like this one, the 10-gallon over here, you'd be getting a lamp for each one of the sides of the terrarium, one for heating, one for lighting. It's easy to project over top of the entirety of the lamp across the terrarium when it comes to one this size. However, if you use one about this size, you can see that it would be missing the entire half of this terrarium. So optimally, we would use a hood when we get up to this size. Hoods provide the spectrum across this way, and then be able to provide full coverage across the entire terrarium. So I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to get the hood out. I'm going to lay the hood right across the top. As you can see, it has reflectors on the top, and this has a 10.0 UVB bulb. Now the UVB bulb is going to be giving them the direct sunlight that they're going to be needing. That's going to keep them healthy, and it's going to keep them from developing such health problems like metabolic bone disease. So it's very important for you to provide them with a UV light, and especially a broad UV spectrum that comes from a hood light. Next thing you're going to need to know is our heating. I know I said before that it's a very localized way of projecting in a 4-gallon tank using a lamp fixture like this. However, when it comes to the heat, localizing is probably the best thing you can do. They love any type of room temperature that you can provide them. However, they definitely need a spot to bask in that is going to be anywhere from 95 to 105 degrees. And they're going to spend a lot of time there. They're cold-blooded creatures, and they get a lot of their warmth from their outside environment. So to provide that is only necessary in every case. You definitely need to have a type of heat, and the best type of heat source that we can provide is our ceramic heat emitter. Ceramic heat emitters are very important. They fit perfectly in here, and they provide a localized heat section for your terrarium. So I'm going to whip this bad boy out right here, and then I'm going to screw them in. And then once it's screwed in and plugged in, it'll start projecting a heat to a localized area. Before I made it clear that you needed to have a higher spot in your terrarium, aka the driftwood, for them to quote-unquote bask in. They're going to be basking in the heat of this hood, of this light fixture. So you're going to put the light fixture a little bit underneath your hood, rest up against the corner, and then you're going to turn it on, and then it's going to be projecting a heat directly underneath of it, and then it will also travel around. So where you're going to have the most localized heat is directly under the tallest point of your driftwood or other elevated surface for them to bask in. So we have the hood lamp going right about, providing the spectrum across, and we have the light fixture providing heat right down to the bottom of the terrarium, all the way across the highest point of your driftwood. So other than that, we're going to get this little guy in here, we're going to get a close-up, and we're going to show you exactly how he interacts with this new environment and the different places that he might enjoy, and why this is such a good fit for our bearded dragon friend. So I'll be right back. We're going to get him inside of this, and he's going to be totally happy. See you guys.
Okay guys, and as you can see, our bearded dragon is doing excellent inside of his new habitat. We have the hood lamp providing a wide spectrum of UVs across the entirety of his terrarium. We also have the ceramic heat emitter, which he is strategically placed right underneath of, is emitting all the heat that he's going to need to keep himself happy and healthy. He's choosing that spot. I actually put him down at the base of his driftwood, and he moseyed his way up there in the time it took me to get this camera. So, you know, he's really loving this environment. We also have over here an added temperature humidity gauge just to keep an eye on the temperature that he's going to be surviving in for added safety. We also have our paper towel bedding, making it easier for cleanup and easy to change. We have our aesthetic leafage in the corner, and we also have our food and water dishes. So I say that this guy is ready to enjoy the rest of his life in his brand new home. And I hope you guys liked the video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us at CBReptile.com. Thanks guys, have a great one. Hey guys, I hope you really enjoyed our video. If you guys like what you saw, if you learned anything, or if you're just a fan of our scaly friends, please shoot us a like, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button to stay updated on everything from CBReptile.com. This is Dan the Tourist Man signing off, and I want you guys to have a great day.